What's up, Steelers fans? I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about power running. Taking a closer look at the Steelers game against the Jets, it was their best rushing output of the year. They had 119 rushing yards. Najee had 74 of those. That was also a personal high in the year for him. Not surprisingly, those two numbers coincide. The team's best rushing output and Najee's best rushing output. The first play I'm going to take a look at here is the crack toss. As you see, as we start here, this play gets its name from a crack back block on the outside there. You're going to see Gunnar Olszewski kind of just rub this edge player inside of this play. He doesn't do much, barely touches them all, just a light touch. You're also going to see Chooks, the play side offensive tackle, and the fullback pulling to lead the charge as lead blockers. The guards are going to climb to the second level. They're going to skip out on trying to block the two defensive linemen there, and the center and left tackle are going to try to get those dudes with reach blocks. If you see the center there, Mason Cole, number 61, he does a pretty good job on this guy right here. Look how he's walled him off, sealed him to the outside of the play. Over here, Dan Moore on his guy doesn't do quite as good of a job. So as we start to roll this play, you see the toss. And James Daniels here is going to execute a cut block. That just means you take out CJ Mosley's legs. And as you see over here, 3 blockers, 3 guys to be blocked. Seems like winning math, doesn't it? Well, this guy who made the tackle here, he's the guy who Dan Moore was responsible for with that reach block from the beginning. And now reach block, what that means is he fires off this foot, comes all the way around here, crosses Williams' face so he can establish outside leverage, and so he can wall that dude off from pursuing the ball carrier. That's the goal here. It never ends up happening because Quinnen Williams, their big number 95, he's a big man, but he's an athletic man too. He just outruns the block, and you see him there. He's got eyes on Najee. He's got none of the blockers have. They don't know that he's coming in backside pursuit, and he just makes the play there, out in space. Good play for the big man. This is the same play run with Jalen Warren. You see Gunnar Olszewski on the outside again, just kind of rub his guy inside. Just guide him inside of that rushing lane. You also see another crackback block out here with Miles Boykin, and he just seals his guy off there. He stays with him, stays in front of him, just seals him off there so he can't get pursuit. That's a really well executed block. You see as we start to roll here, Gunnar Olszewski just guiding his guy westward of the play action. Miles Boykin's got his guy blocked off there. And out in front, he's got 2 blockers, 2 guys to be blocked. Winning math again. Both these guys have inside leverage right now on their guys. The defenders are on the outside. So that means Najee, as we run this play forward, not Najee, that means Jalen can just kind of cut inside of them. As we talk about with the zone running play, it's the job of the running back to make the defense always wrong. Whether he decides to go outside or go inside, it's the job of the running back to read this defender and cut the opposite way of whichever way he goes. And that's the key of the zone run. And with the gap run, as all these are, the gaps are much more scripted. But once you get out on the edge, everyone for himself. And Warren makes the right choice, makes a great cut, keeps getting north, and he always finishes his runs hard. That's something you really like about him. On this next one, the edge, the crack blocker is George Pickens, and you see he does his typical George Pickens thing of trying to lower his shoulder, trying to do damage, trying to just lay the dude out. But this time he actually takes the brunt of the hit. He takes the worst of it, and at 36, I think that's safety. As you see, he actually ends up making this play all the way over here after this fumble. And I should mention that this play was fumbled. Kenny Pickett delivered a low toss to Jalen. It's because Kevin Dotson stepped on Pickett's foot as he was pulling around there. You can see that on the other angle. I don't know if I show it here, but that's what created the poor toss. But if this ball weren't fumbled, and he's going to try to make the most of his play, cutting back on the weak side here. But if this play weren't fumbled, he'd be right here, staring right into the mugs of 1, 2, 3 dudes, unblocked, ready to come and eat him for lunch. So that was a broken play from the start, from a blocking standpoint, let alone the fumble on the exchange. He makes the most whatever he can get out of it, and you see 36, the guy right here who Pickens was supposed to be cracking, ends up coming all the way across the field, making that play. This is just the other angle here. And you see as we start this play here, right there, Kevin Dotson stepping on Kenny's foot. He's kind of tripping as he's getting that pitch off. So that's what created that fumble there. For a little bit low, a little bit behind Jalen. But heads up play there. Okay, that's it for the crack toss. Now onto the pin and pull. This one, the first step is this discerning who is and isn't covered from a blocking standpoint. And covered just means a guy has a defender, a blocker having a defender shaded either on his outside or inside shoulder or head up. So you see here, nobody's on Moore. Dotson's got a guy in his inside shoulder. Nobody's on Cole. Nobody's on Daniels. Chooks has a guy in his inside shoulder. Nobody's on Fryermuth. Guy inside shaded on Gentry. So the cover blockers are going to block down, and that just means it's like a reach block, except you don't have to reach anywhere. You're already there. You just wall your guy off. So Chooks is going to just kind of keep that left foot there, fire with his right foot and pivot, and kind of try to wall his dude off. Same thing, Gentry. Dotson's got more of a task here. He's got to cross this dude's face because this play is going this way to wall this dude off. And the rest of the blockers, the uncovered blockers either climb to the next level or they get involved in the pool game and try to come around front and cut somebody off. You see, Dan Moore is going to try to get to the weak linebacker here, but he's not going to be able to, and he's going to peel off and just get it back on this. That's probably a safety coming up in support there. So as we start to roll here, you see these guys blocking down. They're just trying to wall their guy off and keep him from being able to pursue to the play side there. So they're in outside leverage and they're walling off backside pursuit. And I'm just pointing out here how Daniels running this in regular speed, how far he throws that dude there. Like he doesn't shove him to the ground like a Pickens block, but he takes him out of the play. He's not going to be able to recover. Najee's out on the edge there. Finds himself a first down. Delivers a little hit at the end. Gets himself probably 4 or 5 extra yards out of that. This next play, diagram it again. Covered blockers. We're going to see down blocks. And the uncovered guys are going to climb. Again, Moore is going to try to get to this weak side backer, but he's not going to be able to, so he's just going to peel off on the safety. As we start to roll it, you see he's going after that dude. But I'm pointing out here, Chooks right here, the right tackle, and Kevin Dotson, the two down blockers, they were successful in their job. They've walled their dudes off. This dude right here and this dude right here. Fryermuth right here has not. He's head up with his dude. He hasn't. He needs to be out here on him. Instead, 52 is able to shed him. See Fryermuth right here. He doesn't execute his block. 52 sheds him, and see he's got a clear path to the ball carrier there. Takes him down, blows that play up. I wanted to show you Dan Moore right in that last play. He's gonna be looking at number 9, trying to get after him, but never gets there. So then he turns his head and just tries to hit somebody to make it look like he was involved in something on that play. This play is the same thing, except we have a combo block here on Quinnen Williams, and then working up to the next level. What that is both these dudes are going to start out with a double team here, and once the initial block is controlled, no, that's not Quinnen, that's 98. I'm sorry, Quinnen's over here. Once the initial block's controlled, they're going to climb to the next level to CJ Mosley there. So again, covered blockers are blocking down. Uncovered blockers getting involved in the pool game or climbing to the next level. Again, you're going to see Dan Moore. This time, he's not even going to look at number 9. He's got the sour taste of the last 2 tries in his mind. He's just going to say, "Screw it, I'm going after this weak side safety." He's never even going to look at number 9 there. Take a look at this. Just to point out, in all these clips, the backside edge is unblocked. That's so they can get a numbers advantage on the front side. That's why they call it power running. In these instances, because Moore is unable to execute his situation, we're also going to see the weak side linebacker is, or the off-ball linebacker. If this were a 3-4 like the Steelers run, this would be where the off-ball linebacker would be. This is a 4-3, so this is just the weak side or will linebacker. Yep, so I was saying Moore is going to he would be better served trying to get to this guy, but he's not even going to try and just try to look like he's doing something here. But over here is where this play gets blown up. You see number 98 here is going to clog up the situation. Chooks is going to be able to move him, and you see these other dudes run into him. There's another tight end behind, and Gentry's trying to block 91, but 91 is now has forced Gentry into inside leverage. 91 has outside leverage. He can just disengage, and he's got a clear path to the ball carrier there. He just comes off it, and you see he's running right just behind Mason Cole. So as we roll here, you see the two lead blockers, Mason Cole and James Daniels, out in front, but 91 comes off of the Gentry. And so as you see here, Najee's being tackled for no gain. What's Dan Moore up to? He's over here working on the weak side safety 15 yards away, not doing anything, and he knows it. He would have been better suited trying to get onto number 9 here, because as you can see, he ends up being one of 4 guys involved in this tackle. He's not going to record a tackle on the play, but he was in on the play nonetheless. Okay, the last type of play I'm going to talk about is the the lead power. A lot of teams run this out of the I form with the fullback, but the Steelers, despite having one of, if not the most expensive fullbacks in the NFL, but for some reason they refuse to use them on offense. I'm not sure why. They're going to use tight ends to go lead up into the hole here, block up through the middle as you would out of an I with the quarterback, fullback, halfback, and just have the fullback lead for the halfback. So I'm going to diagram these one half at a time, because these gap schemes, you can really, one half of the line's blocking one way, the other half's blocking the other way. And you see these two linemen just kind of walled off to this side. On the other side, you're walling off these dudes, a combo block here on Quinnen Williams. And then once he's controlled, one of those guys is going to work up to number 9 here, the Will linebacker. So as you can see, one side's going one way, the other side's going the other way. You have the tight end leading up through the A-gap. You have Najee following right behind it. That's why they call it a lead. So as you roll it here, we see these dudes walling off this way. There's the combo block. Very good wall block there from Moore. You see this big gap here that actually only gets bigger. And Freiermuth's got his guy coming up through the hole. This should be a big play here. But it's hard to block C.J. Mosley. He's a good linebacker. We know him from Baltimore. And 91 also. He's going to blow up a couple of these plays here. He comes up over the top here and ends up helping with blow Freiermuth off that block there. So what could have been a longer play ends up being a modest gain. Here, again, you see the left side blocking this way. Another combo on Quinnen. And then he's going to release to the Will linebacker after this block is controlled. On the other side, wall him off, lead up through the A-gap. Najee's going to follow him right behind him. So bring it all in together. Looks like he got hat on hat from the start. So as we start to run it, again, number 91 here, he's going to, I don't know if this is a design stunt or that would be a tech stunt, a tackle end exchange with the end looping over the crashing tackle. I don't know if it's a design text or if he just reads the handoff and decides to scrape over the top instead of trying to get depth and rush the passer there. So he's going to come up over the top, blow this play up. But you see Freiermuth get up into the hole there. Again, isn't able to block Mosley. Mosley's a good linebacker. So from the sideline view, I'll just roll this at normal speed. Take a look at 91 there. How he pauses and gets back upfield. Scrapes over the top, fills that hole. This last play here, before the snap, I have Mason Cole. He's pointing at this dude here. He's calling out the double team. And this dude must hear him because, as you'll see, he ends up aware of it and dodging it. So he's calling out the block so that Pickett and the whole line knows their assignments. I have it diagrammed here. These dudes blocking this way. These dudes blocking this way. And the combo block, this dude up to Mosley. And then Gentry leading up through the middle. As we start to roll this play, 94 right here. He knew the double team was coming. He knew that this guy was coming this way. This guy's coming this way. So what can I do? I'm going to jump around that guy And it ends up making both these guys look stupid. They're leaning forward, they're off balance, and he's got a free shot there, a free path. He hops from one gap to the other. And Najee, a couple of jump cuts here. I don't know how he wades through these trees, but he finds daylight somehow and then keeps going, and he always finishes runs hard too. Check out the sideline view, just see how he dodges those guys. Like he had 36 hanging off him for a while too. Hard runner, quick, jumpy runner. He might not have the top end speed, but he gets so many extra yards that many other runners wouldn't be able to get you. So that's about all I have to say about the Steelers' power running game. Obviously, it's a work in progress, but there is progress there. It is progressing. I like to see more progress in the zone blocking game. A lot of that, there are valid criticisms of Najee's ball carrier vision, just hitting the wrong gap, inside versus outside stuff. Like I was saying earlier, the running back is supposed to make the defense always wrong. So reading that key defender, if he goes inside, I'll go outside. If he goes outside, vice versa. And then if they all go outside, I'll stick my foot in the turf and cut it all the way back the other way and take it for 15 yards at least. Obviously, things aren't working too well with this offense after only scoring 3 points against Buffalo. The running game didn't really have a chance to figure into that too much. That was taken out of the playbook pretty early with some of the success that the Bills were having. So hopefully when we get to see the running game more, we'll see more progress there. I will say there were a couple times in this game with heavy box counts. There was at least once that I saw pointed out on Twitter where the Jets had 9 dudes in the box and the Steelers just pounded up the middle with a dive for, I think, -1 yard on that play. Just a dumb decision. People were talking about how Mitch didn't have the freedom to audible out of plays. I don't know if you would give the rookie that right after not giving it to the half a decade veteran, but it certainly seemed like something should have been done differently on that play, though. So as always, be good to each other, eat the cake, but bring your own milk though. If you're already eating your buddy's cake, be kind enough to bring your own milk. Nobody likes a moose who you offer him a cookie and he's asking for an arm and a leg. Have a good week, folks.